Holy smokes. Do you know who this is? Well, you don't know
No.
who this is.
I'm not that old, Harvey.
You see this guy right here?
Yes.
He was my 7th grade teacher here.
Oh my God, Harvey,
Mr.
you're that
Hemmerling
old?
is here. No, I'm not that old.
Oh.
He's that old.
I'm sorry.
I was young as a student. Here, let him sit, and then you can talk with him too. In case you don't know Mr. Hemmerling, this is a program called Club Kids on the Radio. Every Saturday between 2 and 4, I take a group of kids from the Boys and Girls Club, and we go to Loyola University and we do a radio show. So the question was, Harv, could you set up and do a show from the school for the 100th anniversary? And I said, wow, but our show's on from 2 to 4. What can we do? So I just pulled out every piece of equipment that I could find, and we're doing the show from here. And then we're going back to Loyola, and we'll pop in the tape, and from 2 to 4, Club Kids on the Radio as broadcast here at Talcott School.
Sounds great.
Jasmine, this is Mr. Hemmerling. Mr. Hemmerling has retired.
I have one more week to go.
Ask him all about teacher stuff.
Well, we just interviewed a teacher.
I know, ask him the same questions.
What grades did you teach?
I've taught primarily 7th and 8th grade, and for about 21 years. And for the last 13 years, I've had a science lab at De Diego Academy, which used to be the old Thule High School. But I spent 16 years and 2 months at Talcott Elementary from 1968 to 1984. And Javier Roman over here was one of my students, and he's one that I won't forget.
And the coolest thing about Mr. Hemmerling is that my son was doing a science fair at Logandale like 2-3 years ago. Actually more than that, because he's going to be a junior now. And Mr. Hemmerling was judging, so I'm like, that's the judge, that's the hookup right there. Give him a high score, which of course he couldn't do. So you became like a science specialist.
Yes, both science and math are my specialties, and I've really enjoyed teaching science. As a matter of fact, when I was in high school, both science and math were the subjects I was struggling with, but I was determined to study hard and to put forth the effort. And what happened was I went back to college and had some graduate courses, and believe it or not, I amazed myself and I became a math and science specialist.
So this is what it took to bring you back to Talcott School. The school's celebrating 100 years
Yes.
at this location.
Yes, it did, and I'm so glad that my wife and I came here today, because we've met a lot of former students that I've had, and also some of the teachers that used to work here, like Mr.
Are still here.
Yeah, Mr. Wachter, the former assistant principal, and Miss Richmond, who's still here. And,
She's celebrated most of those anniversaries here.
yes.
She has. She started here in '63. That's when I was born. Jasmine, questions for Mr. Hemmerling or anyone else want to talk at a teacher that's been here? And you wouldn't have come if it wasn't for the 100th anniversary, right? What made you leave Talcott in the first place? Because when you left, a lot of people were a little surprised about that.
Well, it was at a point in my life where I was struggling with my teaching career, and I needed to have a change. And so I was told, I had visited De Diego Academy, and I was interested in how the school was run over there, and it's changed my life ever since. Although I have very fond memories of Talcott Elementary, it's the students here, a unique neighborhood. This area around here.
Of course, now the neighborhood's changing a little bit. You notice across the street, things are a little different than they used to be.
Yeah, I don't recognize the buildings across the street. I wanted to find Rosie's Submarine Sandwich Shop, but I couldn't
They're
find
like
it.
condos now.
I know. They're probably very expensive.
What was the hardest grade that you taught?
Well, the most difficult grade for me to teach was my first year teaching, when I was asked to teach special education for a couple of days. And I realized I wasn't cut out to be a special education teacher. It takes truly a special teacher to teach special education children.
So teaching is challenging, I imagine. But you've been at it for so long, so it's got to be rewarding, because otherwise you would have packed up and did something else.
It is extremely rewarding. Again, being a people person that I am, and the bottom line for me was teaching the children the 3 R's. Now, most people are going to say reading, writing, and arithmetic, but the 3 R's for me, and I always start off the school year with the 3 R's. The first R is respect for yourself. The second R is respect for others, and the third R is respect for the things around you. And then learning all the subjects will come a lot easier.
Wow. Well, take a walk around the school, see what's changed. The difference for me is when I go to some of these classrooms, I can't fit in the chairs anymore. And like this boys' entrance, I call it boys' entrance, and everybody said, "What do you mean boys' entrance?" Back when I was here, the boys had recess here. The girls had recess over on Ohio Street. This was the boys' entrance. That other door way over there was the girls' entrance, and everybody was separated. Now everybody does the same thing, and you got like fake palm trees and playground equipment and the Jesse White tumblers. Oh, before I go, my computer guy at Club 2, Rob Gonzalez, swears by you. I don't know what you did to him, but you've had this impact on him. Yesterday he was telling me, because I said, he's retiring, can I go? And he's, no, it's ticket and invitation. So I guess I can't go because I didn't have a ticket or I didn't get invited. But you did something to Rob that clicked in his mind.
Roberto Gonzalez is another former student of mine from De Diego. He graduated in 1989, and he was at my retirement party last night, and it was just, and they roasted me.
Oh, did they?
Yes.
So they got to say nice things about you.
Yes. Did I ever tell any jokes when I was your teacher?
You know what? Rob said that, but I don't remember you telling jokes. I remember you putting up with a lot of jokes.
Yeah.
But I don't remember you telling jokes. We had our little password competition. We had Dave Linwood as the Fonz, which he still does. And the kid's 40 years old.
Oh, is he around here today?
I asked him to come, but he's starting a new job today at the Boys and Girls Club camp. I hooked him up as the food service director.
Okay. Well, you know what I'd like to do is to come back and visit you over at the Boys Club sometime, and because I know Mr. Gant, who is the late Mr. Gant, former teacher here at Talcott. He and I used to volunteer our time over there, and because we felt the love for the students that we had.